My name is Laura Petracco, and I recently saw The Little Mermaid at the Aronoff Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am here to give you my personal review of the show. So before we go any further, I have to admit that I've never seen the full Little Mermaid movie. Before the musical, I had only seen clips of the movie. So the musical filled in a lot of gaps that were in my head, and I now understand the full story of The Little Mermaid. The rest of the world already knows the story. Ariel doesn't feel at home underwater. She falls in love with a prince who falls overboard during a storm. His name is Eric. She meets with her aunt and they make a deal so that she might fit in better up on land. She defeats that aunt, named Ursula, by the way, and she marries Eric in the end and lives happily ever after. In 2008, the show received a Tony Award for Best Original Score, which was created by Alan Menken, who did the music, and Howard Ashman and Glenn Slater, who did the lyrics. Okay, like usual, I'm just gonna start at the top of my list and work my way down. First on my list is Ariel. Diana Huey, who played Ariel, did a wonderful job as the leading lady. She had a phenomenal voice and had that perfect Disney princess timbre that matched Ariel very well. She was a decent actor, but I wish she would have been more sensitive and grounded. Now, maybe she was directed to act a certain way, but I wish she would have been more invested in the ups and downs of Ariel's story. Number 2 on my list is the set. The set was kind of boring. It was a lot of individual pieces that were moved on and off the stage for each scene. Even if they are scenes painted on a piece of fabric that's brought in from the wings or from the rafters, I prefer when there are full ceiling to floor sets in a show. For example, in this show, during the beach scenes, the only set pieces that were used were basically waist-high bubble walls, and that was it. I just felt like it needed more. When you saw the costumes and the lighting, the set just kind of didn't measure up with the rest of it. The third and last thing on my list are the special effects. The first special effect that I want to talk about is the flying. I didn't realize how much flying there was going to be in this show. The main characters that flew were Ariel, King Triton, and Scuttle. Obviously, Scuttle was actually flying, and Ariel and King Triton were swimming. One of the coolest flying moments in this show was when Prince Eric fell out of the boat and they simulated him sinking in the water. So during the entire storm, there was a man hanging in the rafters where you couldn't see him, waiting for Prince Eric to fall over. When he did, he fell over, they dropped a scrim, they made the stage pretty dark, and then Prince Eric scurries off stage, and this guy who was hanging in the rafters up there, he is in the same costume, he's supposed to be Prince Eric, and he starts sinking down. It was one of the coolest things I've seen, and I'm a nerd because that's cool to me. The second special effect, if you want to call it that, are wheelie shoes. Ursula's sidekick electric eels, Flotsam and Jetsam, were on wheelies the entire time, and I loved every second of it. I thought the shoes added so much to their sleazy, slimy creepiness. I've seen videos of the Broadway production, and everyone wore wheelies in it. So when I saw this production, and not everyone had them on, I was a little let down. I wanted to experience those wheelies and see them in action. So my overall review would be that I think the memorable songs and the very impressive costumes made the show entertaining, but it wasn't my favorite. Alright, that is all that I have for you this time. I hope you enjoyed my review of The Little Mermaid from Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to give a special thanks to Broadway in Cincinnati for inviting me to see this show. Be sure to get your tickets to the show. They're in town until January 29th, and you can find tickets at the Aronoff's website. More information about the show will be in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon for another Broadway in Cincinnati review.